Before point blank or live strike. Okay. Nothing really. It's good build. Also, sorry for the late response. No, you're good. I think my TikTok's a little delayed, so if you want a more less delayed experience, come over to the Twitch. What's good? What's up, because you're kind of slow moving and it's sometimes rough buying 2.4Ks back to back early. To be honest, I rush sprint boost before live strike. Before live strike, shit's too fun. I've been abusing gun bebop. Hey man, nice. Look at you being mad annoying, bro. All right. Well, you know what? While there's nothing going on, let's just go ahead and do it then.
Their blood will stain.
Let's see what happens. Hey, if Doorman's and Graves are in lashes and everyone else is being annoying, why can't I? Nah, you're right, bro. Be as annoying as you want, dude. I missed the melee? What? My perfect victory. Side to side.
Sorrow comes for them.
Side to side. Side to side. Nice, nice. Good shit, good shit. The annoying bebop gets the first blood. Oh, let me go this. Or just before and during because they're the same item and there just gives move resilience.
Leaping.
I got y'all come over to Twitch. W Twitch. Side to side. What if I got sprint boots now, chat? Is that a good idea?
Good luck.
Side to side. You definitely could. Not before damage, in my opinion.
There is no mercy.
Mmm, tasty. Gayzilla, Addy, Arthur. Oh, I thought that was E33. Curd lover. What is curd, chat? Alex Mort. Low HP. Hold on. We got a bunch of low HP demons on the enemy team. Probably not. Depends how early you want to roam. That too. You guys might be onto something.
Get those kills, bro. You got that. Yep. That's my teammate. Yep, you're trying to kill me. Yep. Baiting for you.
I have no bullets.
He's really low. Yep, go in there. Go get your kill, bro. Go kill Max. Yep.
Good job,
right,
falling down.
Leave. Oh, I gotta leave. What am I saying?
W comes, man. He might be the bag sheetiest, but I love it. Wait, chat. Y'all told me to put sprint boots in my build, and now look at me, bro. I'm actually cooking. Wait a minute. You guys are geniuses. I don't know why I heavy melee'd that, bro, but I did. And I don't regret it. I need to go gank this left lane because these guys are getting fuzzed. Right? Just right click random items in the shop. What? Oh, Vindicta low as shit too. But they should be able to kill him. Hey, W team.
The Baxter Society has given me many gifts.
Nah, these guys are really good at the game.
The streets are
I'm rotating yellow.
Need help. Never mind.
You can't stop this.
Bust and turn.
Calico.
Oh, fuck. Oh, this is my perfect victory. Wait, Chad, the sprint boots might be the T, bro. I get sprint boots and then Bazinga. I'm 3-0 right now. Hold on, chat. You guys might be onto something here. Hold on, my chat's cooking. See, W Kotsky, man. That's what it's all about. Low-key boots right now. Low-key. Fuck it, dude. Let's get the boots right now. I'm getting mad value, bro. Look how fast I am. I'm the valuelist. See, I wouldn't have been there. If I didn't have those boots, I wouldn't have been there, chat. Hold on. Look at the damage I just did with that.
I'm about to get ult.
You want ult him? You won't. Scared cat. Do it.
Nope. I'm scared.
I knew it. I called it. You ain't got to tell me.
You ain't gotta tell me why.
Meet your end.
Oh my gosh, bro. Bro, my aim is over.
Come in yellow fort in front of us.
Ava.
I'm coming hard.
You might be able to go for.
I'll be the last one you see.
You know, if I had melee charge there, chat. Somebody hit the follow button. Silver Saki with the follow. Welcome to the Akatsuki. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
No, I got ulted.
Look at that crow.
Nah, that sucks.
Stupid hoe.
Let's go for a walk, Ava.
Wait, this sprint boots might be the truth.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to pull up to the lane.
I'm pulling up to the lane.
Alright,
When I'm with
yeah,
you.
I gotta go heal real quick.
I can only be me. She's full HP. Interesting. When I'm with you, I can only be me. Now keep shooting me.
Stop this.
Hella bread. Might be the breadiest.
It's brutal out there, huh?
Thunder.
Ah, I don't have enough money. Oh, I have enough money. No, I'm trolling. Coming green for the Vindicta.
I see Vindicta.
Oh, we already got the tower. Nice.
Well.
Sinners are up. Come back, blue.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Don't die, don't die. You're good, you're good.
I'm good. How did you know? How did you know? Whoa! Don't back
When
up,
I'm
don't back
with
up.
you.
You backed up?
What do you mean, don't? Should be don't back up. Where'd you get sniped?
They destroyed the Guardian on yellow.
So how the hell that happened?
Someone's using their needle.
I'm coming, Seven.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Nah, that sucks.
Deadlock.
I see Vindicta.
Yo, what is these ults from me, man?
What the fuck is going on over here?
The detective fights for all of us.
W detective, man.
Throwing gloom.
This vending machine is mine.
This will vex them.
Tis I healing Nova. W healing Nova. Welcome, welcome. How you doing?
Our yellow
Yo.
Coming to yellow.
I am also coming yellow. Oh! Silver Saki.
Bebop is looking to pick
Whoa.
Come back, blue.
Oh, I'm dead.
Jump pad, jump pad,
son.
jump
He
pad.
left. I didn't know he left.
And I say I was leaving.
Yep, let her know. Let her know you're here to stay. Oh, yep.
Bruh. That sucks.
defend Greenwich.
They,
Yeah, can I get her?
they won't be big.
A blue walker is under attack.
We're losing everything, aren't we?
They destroyed the Guardian on Greenwich.
IQ popped. I'll be back to ask about the boots. All right.
The dark will claim them.
I'm not gonna lie, I missed so hard right there.
A green walker is under attack.
I go where I wish.
There's 4 on green and 2 on blue. There's nobody yellow.
I'm out of fucking stamina!
We delivered the urn.
W.
They go.
We live in interesting times, don't we?
Wait. Then I get another one. I don't know how you can play Calico on buns with her. It depends on how you like to play the game. You feel me? Maybe she's not everybody's play style. At least how I play. I play her a lot differently than how most people play her. Or at least how most people used to play her. More people play her similar or closer to how I play her now.
What the fuck? Why are there 3 here?
What's going on?
Time to move. They won't be big.
I would like this Guardian. I would like the Guardian, please and thank you.
I see Holiday.
Hold it behind you, Abrams. I can't help you.
Your valor is rewarded.
I need y'all to lock in.
303.
Dare strike me.
I see Holiday.
Yeah, there's one.
Yo, there's 2 green.
Coming green, coming green.
Greenwich is under attack.
No, if you press 4 on like one of 4 of those.
Yo, kill Bebop.
Lolo?
Alright. Sorry I couldn't save you, but I got both of them.
Celeste is really good
Protect
at
my
protecting
bag.
things.
Protect my bag.
Rise up and
I got you. It's going in my belly. Nah, I'll save it for you.
This isn't over yet.
Yeah, your bag's right here. I got you.
They're about to pay. There is no mercy.
I see Bebop.
No Celeste. Oh.
Time to go spoil myself.
a blue walker is under attack.
That's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. Okay. I finished the parkour map. My full run was 11 minutes and 41 seconds. W run,
Yo,
man.
let's take their from right here. I'll protect you.
Whenever I get the mod, I'm
These
gonna need you to
doubles
tell
are
me
ours,
what
by the
maps
way.
you've done, so I know which ones to look out for that are pretty hard, so I can beat them faster than you and whatnot, and have more aura.
We gotta go like right after this.
I want more aura.
There's 2 on green.
I need more aura. Good kills, good kills.
Your end.
right.
Hey, you're making history.
Let me see something, Mo. You got the best ult in the game.
I'm running Ern.
You literally will never find a better last.
Holy shit.
Wait, we're all here. Go mid, go mid, go mid.
I'm down.
Very good, very
We melt it,
good.
we melt it.
Really good ults, really good ults. What's up, Fixable Tomato? Hey, just letting everybody know, if y'all have a Prime sub, you can sub to your favorite streamer for free every 30 days. Just a little quick little fun fact and shit. Do you like Hunzor after the changes? Yeah, I do. I think they were better before, but they're still good now. Hello, what's up, Shreddy? How you doing? Fuck you and your sub. Okay, well, that's kind of big. It's a little bit. It's just smidgen me. If I
No, we don't. Ern is more important than our Yellow Walker.
If I
I can clear blue. Just go to that fight.
Alright.
Broadway
He's
is
so noble.
Thank you for
I
the lifetime
just
TikTok.
don't
Appreciate.
Can't do it all.
our yellow walker is under attack.
I've been ulted.
The shadows call and I answer.
Was it a good ult?
Well done.
I feel like that wasn't a good ult, Sinclair.
I am the one.
Holy freaking Silver Saki with the Prime sub! Thank you! Thank you for the Prime sub!
Let's go.
Fuck
blue.
it, man, you earned it. Thank you! I earned that! I earned that! Look at that, Fixable. Look at that! What happened to Marvel Rivals? This game's better, Fixable. It was the one called Beginning on Game. So you did the first one? I think the world record is like 1 minute and 20 seconds. Okay, I'm probably never doing that. Mid before 20? Is that legal? Yeah, if your team's really ahead, yeah. My team's doing really well, so yeah, we're chilling.
Rejuvenator has expired.
What's up, Kai Knight? Good day. Hope the matches are matching. Well, I lost my first one. Now we're going crazy this time. I haven't died once. Big A, when you gonna play Scary Game? You know, I'm actually gonna put a poll, Fixable, in my Discord. You probably didn't hear about this because you're never around. I made a roles channel, and there's an update thing that you can get. Like if you get the role update, you'll be updated whenever I do like a poll or polls. I got polls for polling new games, and then there's also updates that I will update people whenever I do switch to a different game. Like recently, I've been playing Mouse Speed for Hire. I'm probably gonna play Mouse Speed for Hire at the end of the stream, or after I normally end the stream at 10 p.m. and just keep going for longer, so I can beat that game because it's a longer game. And after this game, I can re-show all of the games that I have. I talked to my brother about some games that I could potentially play next Sunday. I play new games every Sunday, Bazinga, and there's like 5 games to choose from. I thought about putting Pragmata in there, but Pragmata actually
For your help, Ava.
cost a lot of money, and it also is gonna be like a longer game, like Mouse Speed for Hire. So I wanted to play a shorter game in between playing a longer game. So yeah, so like with Mouse Speed for Hire, it's probably gonna take a couple streams after Sunday to beat. Pragmata is definitely gonna be like a 2-week ordeal or something. So yeah, in the Discord. 24 Roblox stream wears. Yeah. I am not ever. I would much rather play Minecraft or Terraria
I see the enemy.
than Roblox. I'm sorry, bro.
I see Holiday.
W emote. W emote.
I'm farming over here. Come.
Oh, thanks for your help, Ava.
2 people pushing green. Two people. People still green.
On my way, don't worry.
W rotation. Free walker probably. Holy shit, go mid boss.
2 minutes, 20 seconds.
Oh, please. Yeah.
Yay!
Rotate her in.
I may want to get back to the group.
Easy collapse.
Mina,
Mina.
Mina ha.
take what you deserve.
Mina ha.
Easy clap. No. I need money. How much my HP I got? I got 3,000. That's not enough.
You have a good eye.
Holy shot. Okay. Looking pretty good. I probably could have got Fortitude. Or whatever. Hello, what's up, Savannah? Are you winning? A little bit, What's the KDA? I'm 8-0-8. Bob.
Your spirit will be forged into a weapon.
Into a weapon.
Let's see if they're prepared for this.
Very good. I'll go ahead and take this Sinners over here. I've been whipping around these streets. Win the game. Bah. I'm trying to win with no deaths.
No more.
No death challenge. So, Savannah, you just been going and driving every single day? You just wasting hella gas money?
Up this holiday.
Okay, I'm being chilling in bed now. Win the game or you're washed. I might be washed. We might lose this game, bro. There's a chance. There's a chance we lose this game, bro.
These are your final moments.
I see Holiday.
If I get glass cannons, it's actually over.
The detective fights for
You are all bearing witness to perfection.
Run while you still can.
I'll hit as many as I can.
But oh. No, you're good, you're good, you're good, you're good.
Mid-bow.
Members.
Members. Members. Oh. Thank you. How kind of you to just leave that around. Is melee charge extended range a permanent passive or like a 4-second cooldown? It's a permanent passive. It's always up, so it gives you extra movement. Mobility's really good in this game. The 20% extra damage is on cooldown. Yeah, the punch is on cooldown. Now, I don't know how I'm Oracle 5. You just play a different character. That doesn't require... Nah, it was a great punch, Lash. I seen you. I seen you. You might be the punchiest. You're the punchiest, bro. It's okay. I'm gonna go kill this Eternus.
Let's buy it and group up blue.
I'm killing Eternus. What I'm gonna do?
Okay.
I lied, by the way.
Oh. Nope. Nope. Abrams, watch out, watch out, Abrams. Watch out, daddy.
Catch me if you
I'm having hella bread. Drifter, you say? Pop bolting at plus 10 move sprint speed. I'm feral with.
So, how's the murder business treating you?
Oh,
Hello, police. I'd like to report multiple homicides in our mother's spot. We are effing them up, dude.
I'll be the last.
I see Holiday.
Someone clear blue.
I missed
I'm not
everything.
chasing that
I
right now.
could have killed the shit out of her. One trick pony, low key. Hell yeah. Where are the Calico one tricks? Come on, type one. Come on. We gotta outweigh that. We gotta outweigh the drifters, right? We gotta. Yeah, let's just fight for this earn and win the game, boys. Everybody lock in.
Ava.
It's end game.
We are in the end game now.
Darling, you don't have chance.
Yo, I'm doing a hell of damage.
And gamers got a soul earn. Holiday, get out my car.
The glue will take. I'll get into position.
Alright, we're gonna push it. What we doing?
Let go.
Come
Bebop.
in.
Watch out for Bebop.
Death awaits.
And this is what success looks like.
See you later, Mort. You have a good one. Signs of love.
I'm silenced. I'm silenced.
You are a dear.
Here's the grand finale.
Face. Oh no, St. Patty.
You see that timing, chat? You see how I timed that? You see how I timed that, chat? That was me, by the way. I timed that. Signs of love. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Wait, Cal, what's like your nightly routine to like stay at Chad? Like, do you like rub ice on your face to get all the bloat out of your face or something?
Guardians.
What do you do? How do you win at life? I'm not reading the chat yet because I'm trying to end the game.
Meet your end.
Nah, they're still trying it.
Counter buy, never counter buy.
Oh, you fucking.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm not.
Yay!
No one's taking
What's that bitch?
Signs of love.
GG! Everyone had a great game.
12,
We all
0, and
performed
17.
well.
Holy shit.
Beautiful.
Persona music? Yes, sir. Did you not hear it? Wait, no, that was this one. Come on now.
I really am great, aren't I?
Is it collapse? Is it collapse?